Again, welcome back to the continuation here of Z's adventure in Normandy. This is the Nutty Brewer series. It is now September. We have another field to harvest today. This is an actual field that can start being able to create some beer for us. As you recall, in the last few episodes, we made some mistakes with the winter wheat, assuming, I guess, that the brewery would be able to accept it. It does not. I also did a little bit of work off camera. You can kind of see it way up on the hill there. There's not much straw, if any, left, and I think I pretty much got all of it that it allows me to get up off the ground. Also, you can see our mountain has shrunk significantly. Now it's just more of a hill. I went and did a bunch of selling of the straw. Obviously, it's not the best time to sell it right now. I get that. I talked about, kind of holding on to it until it's a little bit better. But really, I wanted to have a little bit more money in the bank account because, well, one, we need the money because we're going to probably, as I mentioned in the last episode, today start to outsource a little bit of some of the items here, more specifically some of the crops here that we require to get the brewery kind of up and running full force here. Now, this wheat we're going to harvest today is going to obviously get it up and running full force, but it's not going to be enough. So we're going to go the approach of attempting to either, one, buy another field, or two, outsource the actual crop itself. So go and buy some crop. Or rather, in this case, go and buy some wheat or some barley that we can then fit into the actual brewery itself and get that up and running here for the winter months. That's the plan. That's the goal. And that's what we're going to attempt to do today. So, first thing, obviously, we got to do, though, is get this field harvested. Then we've got all the straw to get up on this field as well. Doesn't necessarily mean we have to do it today. Excuse me. We've got all winter here to kind of take care of all these fields, and that's the reason why the other fields that we harvested in the last couple of episodes, we didn't really do anything with those, right? We're not going to be able to put wheat or barley in until next season, so we have all winter long to kind of take care of dealing with some of these fields, getting them prepped, getting them ready to go, and we're going to do that, right? So it gives us a little bit more to do here in the winter months than we normally would have. And that tree is still causing some issues. So we're going to have to go around it and go at it from a different angle like we did last time. Which is fine. We can do that. We'll come back to it. Just don't let me forget. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Things are good, man. Things are good. All things considered. Everything else that's going on, things are good. This series is moving along nicely. We've got a few other milestones, internal milestones that I haven't really announced to you that I'd like to accomplish before we can call this series a full success. But we are on our way towards that. I'm feeling pretty good about it. The only negative portion and the only delay there was the winter wheat. I thought we would be a little bit further along than we are now. But that's all right. Not a huge deal. We'll just have a few more episodes than we were kind of anticipating. Now, if you stumbled across this and you're not quite sure what's going on here, well, so I've kind of had a loosely based Z adventure that I've been carrying around. Originally, it started off with an actual series that was based on real-life events in my real, true life. And then we've kind of carried it on from there. And Z's kind of just been continuing and doing different things along the way. This is a bit of a pit stop in regard to what the next series is going to be. The next series is actually going to be another series that brings me back home or near home for another family type of run-in. That's the only thing I'm going to give away on that. Initially, it was going to be before this series, but I needed a little bit more time to kind of build out that series, work through that series a little bit more. There were some issues there for a while I mentioned in the past, and a lot of you know this if you've been on the channel for a while, where for whatever reason the Xbox was not allowing you to download anything really from ModHub. That has since been resolved, so that has dramatically helped my ability to be able to get it set up the way that I want, because doing these type of series, it does require me to do a little bit of setup work, to build some things out, put some things down, and kind of plan how I want things to look before a series starts. So the reason we really flipped to do this one first was because, well, I already had the brewing stuff installed already. So it was a very easy switch for me. I had this map installed as well. Well, kind of. I had started to install it. It was having issues. I finally got it to go through, but it was still, ModHub was still causing all kinds of mayhem there. It was like a good 2 or 3 weeks that, it might have even been close to a month, really, that there were these issues that us on Xbox, and I think console in general, were dealing with for a little while. we had to kind of like go around it in odd ways. We had to go on Wi-Fi and push the downloads in through Wi-Fi. I'm hardwired in, so it was very odd. It's very weird. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me why the Wi-Fi portion was working, but whatever. We got it to work, and that's really, I guess, all that matters. And we're here now. Couple things. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with the rest of this straw. So ideally, I don't think if we need to sell more, we will. I don't think we're going to. I think $47,000 should be enough for the time being. You got to remember, we have a loan, right? So every month we're incurring interest, and then we got the maintenance and all that stuff, right? So I just need to make sure that if we're going to outsource some of this money for, the beer, right? We have enough money that we can still cover the loans between September, October, and probably October, November. I mean, I don't know for sure, but if we don't, then I think we're in bigger trouble there, right? So that's really the point of why I decided to go ahead and sell some of it, even though it wasn't the best time. And it is straw, so to be fair, the straw doesn't fluctuate all that much. It's like $10, $15, which I guess if you think of it in that sense, for straw, because you don't make much money anyway, it is a lot of fluctuation, but yeah, we just had to make a decision there, and I had to go for it, so we did. But we still have some there, obviously, and we'll need a little bit left over for the pigs, but I think they're going to be okay. I did top the pigs off already, so as far as the pigs themselves go, I don't think there's going to be a concern with them not having enough straw for quite a while. We don't have that many anyway, right? They're not even at adult age. They're more like teenager age right now. But anyway, they're 50% reproduction, so we got a few more months for sure before they're going to be fully operational. But we do have manure going. We do have slurry going, which is going to be good. Now, we probably don't have enough to really do a full field yet. Maybe the small field over there to be in between those trees. Maybe that field. Maybe we have enough for that. I don't know. But to that point, we don't have anything or any kind of piece of machinery, equipment, whatever, that we can utilize to put it down the ground right now anyway. We'd have to outsource that, buy that, whatever, or I guess we have the option to potentially lease that if we really wanted to. But that is obviously not now, right? It's going to be later on anyway. Hopefully we'll sell some beer by then, and hopefully we'll have a little bit more money where we can probably go ahead and fit some kind of a slurry and or manure, well, both slurry and manure spreader to help with the fields, right? Just to get them in a better state. So now, as far as the straw storage goes, I'm not quite sure what we're going to do there. I've downloaded a few things. I liked one of them. One of the ones I liked though is expensive, so I'm not quite sure it's actually going to fit or work out for this series. Although I do like it. The other one I downloaded didn't seem to work. There's a couple of things we can do here. One, we can switch the way we're going and go to a bale approach. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not, but we have that option that we can go to a bale approach. If we go to a bale approach, I do have a storage option available for us. Not outrageously expensive. I can have somebody come over. Sorry, again, hit the microphone. Come over between now and October and get that set up for us, right? Build that barn for us to, hold on to those bales. But I'm not quite sure if that's the way I want to go or not, right? We have a forage wagon. That's the kind of the approach we've been going. So I'm not quite sure if that's what we're going to do or not. But if we decide to switch gears and go for bales, then so be it. But it's more thinking that we have to do on that in regard to where we're going to go next. All right, let's put the GPS on. Let's go down the middle here. So while that's happening really quick, I can kind of give you a ballpark view here. So mountain, obviously, much smaller than it was. It was all the way out to here, and it was much higher. Did go and make multiple runs selling that. Now, the negative portion of that as well is the wear and tear on the tractor and that forage wagon. And then this one has all been taken care of. There are little spots here, as you can see. Those are spots across the board that I haven't really been able to get them up off the ground. You can see there's plenty here as well. And if we go over here, I'm sure there's a few. Yeah, there's a couple here as well, right? So I don't know why, but it is very, very difficult to get those up off the ground. I think it might just be a texture thing more specifically versus an actual piece of straw that can be picked up on the ground. So This map is relatively realistic in regard to that, and what I mean by that is it has implementation into it that makes some type of realistic type of approaches, where, you know, some of that straw would be on the ground in a normal field, right? You wouldn't be able to get it up because it's either been smashed into the field itself or whatever may have happened, right? So I believe that is really the reason why you're seeing those. It's not that it's something that I'm missing. It's just that is part of the texturized approach that the map itself has been put into play. So, today, get the rest of this field harvested, get the straw up, of course. Now, that straw is really just going to be dropped over there on our mountain of straw that we have right now, so we're just going to continue that mountain for the time being, because right now, we have nowhere else to put the straw. Like I said, I would love to find somewhere to put the straw, but as it currently stands, we really don't have that yet. And I really haven't been able to find anything that is... Well, one, within our price range or budget, and two, feels like it's a good fit for the series, right? So I haven't really been able to find anything yet. Hopefully that will change soon enough, though. It might just be the approach we just go with the standard type of silo, right? Just a standard silo that allows straw to be stored in it. That would probably be the easiest and the best approach. But again, we just haven't found something we like yet, so we'll continue to add to that mountain a little bit and go from there. Now, when I get down here to the end, we're going to flip around. I'll put this back on GPS. We're going to take a peek at the map again, and we got $47,000. So it does give us the opportunity if we do find a field. I know we looked in the last episode, there wasn't much near us, and I still expect that to be the same thing, but we can at least peek and see if there is something, even if it's far away, that makes sense money-wise. You know, that's ready to harvest, whether it's wheat or barley. Maybe that's the way to go. That probably would be the way to go, honestly, you know, to save us a little bit of money. And what I mean by that is we would get the harvest off of that field, so that field would be much cheaper, so then it would make it a little bit worth it, even if we do have to drive a ways to get there, right? And the trees are in the way. I apologize for that. They will be gone here in just a second once we get this all lined up. There we go. Okay, so, map. So, really, we just want wheat and barley. That's all we're looking for. The only one that's even near us is 67, I guess? Is that... I don't know what that is. It doesn't really tell you, does it? I mean, it looks like barley, but is it really, though? No, it's not. Okay, so really it's these two over here, which they're kind of far away, if I'm honest with you. But how much is this one? 58,000. So we don't have enough for it anyway. This is going to be more. 85,000. Yes, we don't have enough for those anyway. Those are a hike to get to. We'd have to come down here, around across this creek. Nope, not even across this creek here, and then over. So they are relatively far away. Looks like there's another one down here, but again, that's even further. So. Yeah, I think we're just going to be outsourcing. I mean, that just kind of makes our whole decision right there, right? We're not even going to worry about buying a field. There's not one close. There's not one that's even within budget of the $47,000 that we currently have, and that's what's selling a lot of the straw. Now, could we maybe get there if we sold all of the straw we have? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But will we be able to continue on with... you know, the brewery production and the loan and everything else? I don't know. Probably not, right? Probably not. So, all right, last little bit here, and then obviously this field has been harvested fully. Surprisingly enough, it did not need to be unloaded, which I guess is both a positive and a negative. Positive that we didn't have to deal with, you know, stopping and bringing the trailer over here to unload it, but negative that maybe the yield is not as good as we were expecting, although if you look in the left-hand corner, it looks pretty good to me. 97, 96, keeps popping back and forth between the percentage there. So I think we did okay. Just happens to be that the storage here in the harvester is a little bit more than the field would produce. Whew, that was tough to get that out for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, so that is all done. So wheat. We need to unload this now into the trailer so then we can take it up to the brewery. I'm not going to bring the harvester all the way up there. That obviously would be a little ridiculous. Certainly have done it in the past, but we're not going to do it here. Just going to pull this forward just a little bit, and we'll lop it off. I'm going to leave it out because we know we're going to need it here again very, very soon, so... Okay, that is underway. Shouldn't take too long. I did not add another sign out to the front yet. I'm still considering that. I think we are going to do it, but I think I'm going to save it for off-season. And when I say off-season, I'm talking winter months here. We're getting close. We're really in the fall right now, right? Or the beginning of fall. I think I'll save that for winter months. That's some stuff that we can do in the winter, although the ground might be a little bit more unforgiving when trying to drive poles into them, but we can use a machine to really try to loosen the ground up first and then kind of go from there, right? So hopefully it won't be too terrible. Alright, let's unload this wheat and actually get the brewery back up and running for the first time in a while. Really unfortunate, honestly, about that winter wheat, man. I had high hopes for that, and man, really thought that it would be able to accept it. But yeah, that's not the case. The mod does not accept winter wheat. Okay, the wheat's in there, so let's get it up and running again. It looks like it's up and running now. Perfect. Awesome. Awesome. We're starting to make stuff. That's good, 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 good. All right, so we'll go put this back away. Really, the next step is to get that straw up, and then probably go and outsource some product. Actually, you know what? Well, let's get the harvester put away. I'm just going to pull this over here to the side. We might go actually source out some wheat and barley right now. We might just go do that now. I'm thinking we're going to outsource some barley and some sugar and do a bit of a limited release. As I was talking about kind of towards the end of the last episode, I said maybe that's what we do. Since we're outsourcing this pretty heavily here, maybe we outsource our first batch of like a dark amber lager, whatever it's called in there. I think it's dark lager, amber lager, dark amber lager, something like that. Dark malt beverage. There you go. Maybe we outsource the dark malt beverage, the first batch, and maybe we can make a little bit of extra money with it, right? If we sell it as limited quantities here on the farm, maybe send a few, random extra packs to, the in the town bar and the restaurant, right? Who have been very helpful with us being able to get our legs under us, right? Maybe we go that approach and send them a few. And that way they're just kind of having a couple random ones that they can sell for a little bit more money and maybe make us a little bit more money in the long run, right? I kind of like that idea. So let's see if we can find somewhere to buy some wheat and barley. All right, so I actually called somebody up, and they were able to bring over quite a bit here on the side here for us. So we've got a bunch of bags there of wheat and barley that we can just fill up whatever we want to. I had thought about putting it up there near the actual brewery itself, but I decided to put it down here in the yard area just because, well, quite frankly, I just think it needs to be away a little bit from, the actual brewery itself and where people are going to be at. So we've got enough going on up there, so let's just try to keep that away a little bit. So yeah, we're going to buy some wheat directly from this. Now, clearly it's just a buying silo, guys. Well, the reason why we went this approach, and that was a lot of wheat, but, we needed it. The reason we went that approach is because there's actually not a single spot on the map besides what I just put in. I just put that in. That's what that buying is, the buying station there. Besides this buying station, there's not a single place on the map where I can go and buy any type of product of any sort. So we had to kind of use our imagination here and get around that. So the way that we're going to use our imagination to get around that is to state that, well, we bought a bit of an outdoor shed there that, you know, people come and bring deliveries for us, and then we can pick it up at that point, right? So that's the way we're going to get around it. Right or wrong, that's the way we're going to get around it. Obviously, this is a ton of wheat we just purchased, right? A ton of wheat, an absolute ton of wheat. But it's going to be good. It's stuff we really need. It's going to get the brewery going for us, and hopefully keep the brewery going for us here in the winter, which is going to be extremely, extremely helpful. As you can already see, we've got beer already coming off the assembly line there, which is great for us. And we just want to keep that process going here throughout the winter. And we can start up, obviously, the tours and things of that nature here, really, this month if we want to, and honestly, we probably will. Having a little bit of issues unloading this, but that's okay. I don't want to say roof, because, I mean, I guess it kind of is, but it's not really what I was looking for. But anyway, that overhanging cover there is kind of getting in the way for the dump of the trailer here. But anyway, we should have plenty of wheat in there now. We do. There's still plenty of room, as a matter of fact, for more wheat if we wanted to, but I think that's plenty for the time being. Now, as you can tell, there's actually not a ton of storage there for the malt light and for the pig food, for that matter. So we're probably going to have to kind of move these around a little bit, and we can do that, you know, a little bit off camera too, but we'll do some on camera as well. Now, for the dark malt beverage, we need barley and we need sugar. We're going to do a small batch. I'm not going to buy tons of it. Realistically, I'd like to make sure that our money stays somewhere around the $25,000 range. When we've got to buy both the barley and the sugar for this, so they're both not going to be cheap, right? Even though we put down an expensive buying silo, they're not going to be cheap. So I think about there on barley, which is just under 10,000 liters of barley, and then we'll come back and get some sugar and hopefully do the same thing there. Hopefully we'll get that sugar will get us down to about 25,000. But yeah, luckily, it only took them a couple hours. There was a guy up the street. He's like, yeah, I can build you that real quick. And, you know, I did some off-camera work, and then he had that built, and there we are. We've got our point where our deliveries can be provided to us, which allows us to kind of continue this progress here in the winter. So this is good. This is good for us. And there we go again. But perfect, we got it. Okay, so the barley's in there. Let's get the sugar. I'm not sure where sugar is in the buying point here. Hopefully we can buy it. Sugar beet cut. Can I just buy straight sugar from here? If I can't buy just straight sugar, then we probably just wasted our money. Looks like I cannot. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, I guess really what that means is we are going to have to get some kind of production to turn the sugar beet cut, or the sugar cane for that matter, into actual sugar, right? So let's look at the pamphlet here. Obviously, we're not going to be able to put this in today, but let's look at the pamphlet here today and see what we can find, and maybe we'll find some other stuff as well to get some sugar, right? Let me see what I can find here. Okay, so I kind of like this idea here, gang. So we're obviously using the pamphlet. I got to have somebody come over here and build this, but I kind of like the idea of putting a bit of a, well, farm production, but I'm going to call it a shop right here. And then in that shop, you could, you know, individuals that come here could go in and buy, you know, shirts and use your imagination, shirts and beer and everything else, right? After the brewery tour is over, they come out here, they're able to have a beer on the beer garden area, and then there's a shop right here as well. I kind of like this idea, so we might run with this idea. Obviously, we don't have enough money for it now, but this could be a future tense purchase for us. Obviously, the barley we just bought right now is unfortunately just going to have to sit there and be a bit of a waste right now because there's really nothing else we can do with it. Obviously, we could go sell this straw that we've got to get up off the ground, and obviously the straw that's here on our mountain of straw, but like I said, I'm going to hold on to the remainder of this straw until it's the best time to sell it, which is going to be the winter months, right? So we'll kind of focus on that here in a little bit. Now, we've done a lot of straw work lately. In other words, we did a lot of straw work in the last episode. I'm not going to make you watch me do straw work again today. We might do it in the next episode. Today, we're going to jump on the plow here, and we're going to get some of these fields plowed up and prepped, at least begin to start the preparation work here for them. Now, obviously, as I mentioned, they do not all need to be done today, and realistically, even if we get them done today, there's nothing going to be going into them for multiple months. We've got to go through all of winter yet, and we're not even at winter yet, right? So, but we've got to get them done, right? So this will be a nice bit of a break from doing all that straw work, and yeah, we can then kind of carry on more straw work in the next episode when we take care of the rest of that field over there, of course, right? So that's my plan. That's my goal here. Unfortunately, we bought that barley with the expectation that we'd be able to buy sugar from that buying point without actually looking at it. I probably should have done that. Mistake on me, but, you know, it happens. Those things happen. We'll use it eventually. You know, it's not a big deal. Again, it's not like we were going to buy a field with it, right? So it's not a huge deal. The only, I guess, negative from it is if we find something in the used market. Maybe they can't buy that now, but I don't necessarily think we really need anything else. Like I said, the only thing I was even considering trading out was the forage wagon for, you know, some kind of a baler potentially, because that would allow us to store the bales in a bit of a more reasonable fashion versus the straw just sitting outside in the weather, right? But again, from a short-term temporary standpoint, I don't really think it's that huge of a deal. We will find something for the straw eventually. I'm not too concerned about that. Now, I guess the question becomes, now that we know we can't do winter wheats in any of these fields, which two, well, I guess for the time being, until we get some kind of production to make sugar, I guess they're all really going to be wheat fields, right? So I guess I can just scratch that whole thing. But which two are going to be, you know, planted in the first month and which two are going to be planted in the second month, right? We got to figure that out. I haven't fully figured that out yet. Can we please lower the plow, please? Thank you. Haven't figured that out yet. We will, but I haven't figured it out yet. So, you know what I got to do here. Let's get to work. Let's get the rest of this field plowed up. We'll probably plow up one more field, and then we're going to lime these fields, and they'll be in a pretty decent state at that point, hopefully, to be prepared to be drilled. Obviously, we've got some slurry and some manure that we can kind of take care of, hopefully, here soon as well. But we've got to sell some of that beer. Now, speaking of that beer, before we jump into this, let's figure out when the best time is to sell the beer. I think it didn't fluctuate all that much, so really we can probably sell it anytime we want. But if there has been a change at all, we can take a peek and wait and hold on to some of that beer until then. Sparkling malt light. Well, right now, it does not fluctuate at all. It's 2,460 at the low point, 2,460 at the high point. So it really doesn't fluctuate at all, it looks like. We'll keep an eye on it, though, but it doesn't seem to fluctuate at all. So we can sell some of that today. Probably won't do so. We'll probably hold off on selling it until October. Although if, you know, the city comes calling again, which they did, and I'm sure they're pretty upset with me not having anything for them the last couple of months, you know, then maybe we will be willing to sell it right now. I don't know, right? That menu item there keeps popping up because the way that it works on console is the buttons are very close together, and if I don't hit the buttons correctly, it'll think it wants me to put a worker on it when I don't. Anyway, I've rambled for a long time already. Let's get this done. right, gang, that's all done. We obviously sold a couple pallets here. I did make a phone call while we were in the process there of getting the fields all plowed up and limed up. I called and asked if anybody needed anything in the city, because we did have some that had spawned. The bar requested 4 pallets, and the restaurant requested 1. Said that unfortunately he had to outsource it elsewhere. He said, but in October he'll be looking for probably more. Because obviously a lot of people want to support local, and that's what we are, right? So anyway, we did do that. We also moved some of the pig food over there to the pigs. The pigs really specifically didn't need any food specifically, but the actual pen that is there holds a decent amount of food, right? It has a decent amount of capacity in there, so we might as well go ahead and top it off for the pigs there. So that was good. But we're in the process there, gang, and we're going to leave the episode here. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash the like, subscribe button in the case you've yet to do so. They are free to do. It helps me absolutely a ton. It's by far the easiest and the best way to help me and the channel out, is to hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks to my members for all of their support. As always, cannot thank them enough. There's a link down below if you want early access to videos like this one. Maybe consider becoming a member. Check out the second channel. Check out the Discord. Check out the shop. New shirt coming soon. Probably within a week it'll be out for my members early, and then everyone else will get it after that. Early September. It is done. I can tell you that. It is done. So very excited about it. I really like it. I've purchased one myself. Can't wait to see it. And hopefully all of you like it too. With that, we'll leave it here. Thanks for watching, gang. I'll see you next time.